Galactic Racer does look really fun. But I swear, if this shit comes out at $70, I'm not, it's just not for me. The old 64 game still holds up. I mean, you know, this new Galactic Racer with all of its bells and whistles. I mean, at the end of the day, the old one still holds up. I mean, it's just a good, fun. I mean, it's not the most expansive fucking game in the world, but it's just good fun. I mean, you just can't go wrong with it. I actually prefer it to the 64 like Mario Kart. I think it's a better racer. It's probably at the time it released, very well could have been the best racing game ever released. I mean, you have a wide selection of characters that range from Dud Bolt to Gascano to fucking like. You're telling me you don't want to play as Clegg Holdfast, Aldar Beto? You're seriously telling me you don't want to play as Sebulba, Ben Quadinaros? You know, the trailer, the gameplay trailer, the first gameplay trailer for Galactic Racer released, and it looks pretty fun. They showed all this fun gameplay, the crashing, the different fucking vehicles you can do. And then they say the name. It was like, you know, at the end of the trailer, the name comes up on screen. Star Wars Galactic Racer coming soon. And then they have like a little end credit sting at the end where they show Ben Quadinaros. As if just the mere presence of Ben Quadinaros on his own is like some grand slam, like, holy shit, I wasn't sold on this game before, but they have Ben Quadinaros as a character, so now I'm fucking interested. Like, they dropped him at the end like he's some big fucking character that we've all been looking forward to seeing again. You know, when I was a kid, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. When I was a kid, I would unironically peruse the Wookieepedia just for fun. I mean, that shit was expansive. I mean, every fucking background character has a whole ass fucking like backstory. It's actually insane. Every minute little background character, if he shows up on screen, he's got fucking like pages of documentation detailing his life and how he got to the point where he shows up in the movie. And that does not disclude Ben Quadinaros. Especially if you look at the Wookieepedia now that the canon is split, you know, following the Disney buyout. There's a so-called canon timeline, and then there's the so-called Legends timeline. Well, let's see. What was Dud Bolt getting up to in Legends? Says he hails from the deep core world of Voltar. While the majority of Voltar's natives labored away under the rule of the Trade Federation, Dud Bolt secured a life that was considered to be better than that of other Voltarians by obtaining off-world work as a professional pod racing pilot. Looks like he was hired by Sebulba, infamous pod racer Sebulba, and his job was to knock out Sebulba's competition during races. Holy shit! Are you fucking kidding me? Dud Bolt was working with Sebulba to knock out Sebulba's competition during the races. This guy's a fucking bastard. Bolt's strategy for his job required him to remain in the rear of a pack and keep an eye out for anyone looking to take the lead. If they did, Bolt would boost after them and take them down before they had a chance of catching up to Sebulba. This fucking guy, this is like the fucking like middle manager at the grocery store who acts like he owns the whole fucking corporation, keeping down his little wages. If I would have known this about Dud Bolt, I wouldn't have played as him during this segment here. This is the boomer character. This is the like American boomer character. He's fuck you got mine. Like, he is in with Sebulba and he keeps down all the other fucking racers. This guy's a piece of shit. The Bunta Eve Classic of 32 BBY. So I guess this is the one where this is the race where, you know, of course, that takes place during the actual movie. On the night before the race, Dud Bolt attended former Bunta winner Bulls Roar's Glimmick concert at the Poodoo Lounge in Mos Espa. Alright, these names are crazy. I'm having a stroke. Dud Bolt attended the former Boonta winner Bulls Roar's Glimmick concert at the Poodoo Lounge in Mos Espa. Don't know what any of that fucking means. Not a word is. I'm not gonna retain any of that. While there, he was greeted and taunted by Sebulba, who commented on Bolt's lack of an appearance on the earlier broadcast of the Fode and Bede show. And this, by the way, the Fode and Bede show has a whole article on its own. The Fode and Bede show was a weekly show performed by what the fuck? Fode Sinbede Anadu, a two-headed pod race commentator. Oh, the fucking two-headed... Okay, we saw this guy in the movie. I'm gonna put a picture of him on screen right now. Future me, put on a screen of Fode Sinbede Anadu, two-headed commentator. He has his own show. He has his own pod racing commentary show called the Fode and Bede Show. And he wasn't, and Dud Bolt wasn't on the Fode and Bede show, so Sebulba was making fun of him for it. What the hell? Oh, and Sebulba was a guest speaker during that episode. And Bolt did not make an appearance. Man, the fucking drama is crazy. I didn't realize any of this. Bolt was short with the Doug, and the Doug is Sebulba. Sebulba's a Doug. I don't know if that was made clear. Prompting Sebulba to remind his lackey that the rude display was merely an act, so that no one would suspect their partnership. Believing that enemies were afoot, Sebulba advised Bolt to keep an eye out for potential threats. Unbeknownst to the pair, only a few seats away in the bar, the aging Devlik pilot Juan Sandage. It's spelled like bandage but with an S. Hired the Glimfid killer and pod racer Aldar Beto to assassinate Sebulba during the Boonta. The next day, Sebulba learned from the Vecnoid competitor Tinto Pagalis that the Bardodin pilot Mars Guo was planning to run away with one of Sebulba's masseuses, Angela, after the race. Per Sebulba's orders, Bolt distracted Guo while the Doug broke a piece of machinery off Guo's pod racer. Man, the fucking drama. Holy shit. This is like no holds barred. These guys are involved in whole ass. This is like fucking... There's like Game of Thrones levels antics taking place behind the scenes at the fucking Boonta Eve Classic. Mars Guo is gonna run away with one of Sebulba's masseuses? It's a fucking Twi'lek. It's a fucking female Twi'lek masseuse. By the year 24 BBY, which I suppose is 8 years later, Sebulba had fired Bolt from his coveted position at the Doug's side and hired Beto, the very Glimfid who had once been hired to kill him, as a replacement bodyguard. Enraged, Bolt vowed to destroy both pilots in the name of eternal hatred. Okay, well there you go, they broke up. Oh, Racer Revenge! Oh, this follows the events of the PS2 game? Is that what's going on here? Oh my god, there's more! That's just a small tidbit of his fucking lore. So they did not stay allies forever, because Sebulba would eventually hire someone else to take his place. Aldar Beto to take Dud Bolt's place. Okay, wow. So there's a whole, you know, this character that, might I remind you, is in Star Wars Episode 1 for about 3 seconds and doesn't have a single line of dialogue. Nonetheless, he has an entire arc where he seeks out to get revenge against his former employer for betraying him. Here's the real question, though. Is Dud Bolt returning for Galactic Racer? We know that Ben Quadinaros and Sebulba have both been confirmed for Galactic Racer. I'm not seeing anything about Dud Bolt. But not to worry, I mean, he could still show up. Please, reach out to the developers. We have to make this happen. Dud Bolt needs to make his appearance. I'm pretty sure the new game is canon. I think that was one of the gimmicks. I wonder what Ben Quadinaros' lore is. I always fucking hated this guy. He's such a shitty design. Looks like such a piece of fucking shit. I fucking hate Ben Quadinaros. His face is so fucking ugly. Doesn't even look cool. How is this a naturally evolving creature? It's the most stupid looking thing I've ever seen. There's actually less lore about Ben Quadinaros than there's Dud Bolt. I know that's very disappointing to hear, but we have more Legends information about Dud Bolt than Ben Quadinaros. He's a Toong. That's his species. He's a Toong. Toong. That sounds like a slur. A Toong? And his homeworld is Tund, spelled Tund. He's a Toong from Tund. Crazy. Quadinaros would not have entered the Bunta at all, if not for the fact that Bulls Roar, in his Glimmick concert the night before the race. I remember this! I remember his Glimmick concert from Dud Bolt's lore. What the fuck is Glimmick? Glimmick is a musical genre known for its loud, frenetic sound and thumping beat. Similar to Heavy Isotope in many ways, Glimmick differentiated itself with a fitter, more extreme image and featured inspirational lyrical content. Okay. Glimmick music was often played at shockball courts, and a number of shockboxers used Glimmick tracks as entrance music at venues across the galaxy. Okay, there's a reason why people have used Glub Shido as an insult. Shockball. Glimmick music. Okay. We're just gonna move past that. For some reason, the canon segment of Ben Quadinaros' lore is far longer than the Legends segment. I don't know how fucking interesting this is gonna be to anyone besides me. I literally said earlier that when I was a kid, I would just peruse the Wookieepedia out of curiosity, and now I'm a 28-year-old man, I'm doing the exact same goddamn thing. I'm literally just sitting here reading the Wookieepedia on Ben Quadinaros. You know, nothing ever happens, nothing ever changes. You know, the theory about us all being 12-year-olds is that it remains undefeated. I don't know what to tell you, this shit is fascinating. I've been seeing more schizos lately. I won't lie, I think the internet has probably been on a bit of a schizo arc for the last couple years. I can't really tell what's brought this on, why this has happened. I mean, are schizos just funnier than they've been in the past? Are more people schizos? Or are we just going through a schizo era as a society, as a people? Are we in our schizo era? I don't know. All I know is I've been seeing so much Yakub. I've been seeing Yakub on Instagram, on YouTube. Yakub is on Twitter. If you were wondering, he invented white people through natural selection. Or no. Quite the opposite, actually. It was selective breeding. I mean, I've always had a fascination with the schizo stuff because back in the day I was interested in cryptids and cryptozoology, which is like Bigfoot, you know, Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, stuff like that. Just like animals that are hypothesized to exist, but, you know, don't. That's a, you know, I feel like cryptozoology is like a gateway drug into actually really passionate scientists. I think a lot of people get into cryptozoology, and in order to like get down to the bottom of it. So here's an example: the Loch Ness Monster. Well, I hate to be the, you know, the Reddit atheist in the room who has to tell you fairies aren't real. There is no Loch Ness Monster. It can't exist, and the reason why is, well, first of all, because simply there's not enough food in Loch Ness for it to eat. I mean, I remember my dad had come in with his theories. You know, something you'll come to learn about my dad is that he has his theories. And some of them he's passed down to me, but most of them have not. He shares his little theories with me. He used to have this little theory that the Loch Ness Monster would venture out of the loch and into the ocean to go and hunt for food, and then it would retreat back into the loch. Especially when you consider this thing was breathing air and would need to regularly surface in order to, like, survive. Yeah, there's just no fucking ways. It's simply too big of an animal and too small of a location. There's simply no way. But once you, like, understand that, once you wrap your head around that, it's not that far of a stretch to realize you can't really have Bigfoots walking around in the North American forest. What would it mean if this creature really existed? Is there even room for it in the ecosystem? And when you find the answer to be no, In order to do that, you have to find out so much about how the ecosystem works. If you were to break down, you know, people my age who are interested in biology and ecology and animals and shit, if you were to break those people down and find out how many of them were once interested in cryptozoology, I feel like intuitively, I have no evidence for this, so I'm just, you know, talking out of my ass here, so to speak. I feel like the number would be quite high. You know what I mean? In order to, like, break down why cryptids don't work, you have to understand biology. So, after our little discussion on the wide-spanning breadth of work, detailing the intricate backstory of Dud Bolt, I decided to peruse a little more Wookieepedia. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, you know, it's a good website. It's one of the best, in fact. I decided to peruse the article from Mars Guo, and apparently there's a, according to the wiki, there's a deleted scene where Mars Guo he salutes the crowd after his name is announced, and then, like, Jar Jar Binks walks in front of him, and then he gets annoyed or something like that. It's like a deleted scene, and he's like CGI. You know, as Mars Guo appears in the movie for literally like a half second, he has even less screen time than Dud Bolt. He's on screen for half a fucking second. But anyway, he was gonna appear in the movie more as a deleted scene. But does this scene even exist? Well, I go to YouTube and look up Mars Guo deleted scene. Surely it would be on here, right? Everything's on YouTube. But no, it's not fucking on here. Why is it so fucking hard to find anything on YouTube? I swear to God, this shit is like... If I didn't know any better, I would say not only Google search, but also YouTube search is definitely being powered by AI. I feel like it used to be so easy to find things on these sites. And now you have to do so much digging. You have to do, like, research to be able to find what to even look for. Well, I'm watching the deleted scene now. It's gotta be said, you know, although I disagree with the insistence from this new generation of kiddos coming up that the prequels are good, I disagree with that, but it's gotta be said, they have their own sort of vibe to them. A lot of charming practical effects. I mean, the CGI looks like shit, but that's kind of a vibe in and of itself, isn't it? They have a sort of personality. They have a sort of identity. The new stuff they're coming out with is so corporate and safe. But these movies are weird. Like, they're just so strange and different. You would never get a board of directors approving a movie like this. Wow, that's an interesting... Looks like a racial stereotype character. There's Dud Bolt! Dud Bolt, my man! Dud Bolt! Oh, we fucking love Dud Bolt. He's a bit of a bitch, though, because he's working with Sebulba. I'm just watching the fucking... Oh, there he is! There's Mars Guo! Oh, look at him! Aw, he's so funny. Oh, he's getting annoyed at Jar Jar. Oh, he's so small. I thought he'd be taller than that. You know, Mars Guo really is a champion of the people, I feel like. I mean, I didn't really read much from his Wikipedia. I think Mars Guo is really... I mean, we should be looking at him for guidance rather than Dud Bolt. Dud Bolt is a class traitor, and he's working with the corrupt cheater Sebulba. Mars Guo is a good guy. I mean, sure, he was gonna... You know... He was hitting on Sebulba's masseuse. I mean, but that's not that bad. So what? He deserves to die because he wanted to run away with Sebulba's Twi'lek masseuse? Who doesn't want to run away with a fucking Twi'lek masseuse? I mean, he's really he's the people's champion. I mean, what the hell are we talking about? This is who we should be admiring, not Dud Bolt and his bitch ass, like, working with Sebulba. This is the most glub shido conversation ever. No one cares about this. No one cares about what's going on between Mars Guo and Dud Bolt. And yet it's all here. I mean, clearly someone cares about this because this website is here documenting all of this shit. Clearly I'm not the only one who finds this fascinating. Are you seriously telling me You don't want to see what happens to fucking Mars Guo Twi'lek adventure? I mean, what are we even talking about here? You'll remember from the previous segment that, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, that Dud Bolt and Sebulba sabotaged Mars Guo's pod racer. If you're a real fucking nerd like I am, you'll remember that he just actually straight up kills him during the race. What the fuck? He survives? Okay, I might put it up on screen. I'll put it up on screen. I won't play any audio. There's a scene where Sebulba, like, tosses something into Mars Guo's, like, engine, and then it shatters and blows up. Is this canon? No, this is Legends. According to the Legends continuity, Mars survives that, but he wasn't able to get with the masseuse, which is just really unfortunate. Oh my god, this is terrible. Apparently, while Mars Guo was being attended in the med center, Sebulba had all of Mars Guo's belongings auctioned off, including 2 enslaved Rhodian mechanics, Pax and Trax Bonkick. Are you telling me Mars Guo had enslaved mechanics? I mean, I guess that's on point for the movie. That's like one of the main themes of the movie is slavery. You know, maybe we shouldn't really be idolizing Mars Guo. You know what I mean? I'm starting to see the other side of things here. That being said, in the deleted scene, he does make fun of Jar Jar, so he kind of speaks for the people. You know, he's sort of what's the best way to describe? He's like an uneasy alliance. He's sort of like he's like a wary. You could have a temporary alliance with him, but you should still be cautious of him. You know. You can work with him, critically support, or whatever you want to say, critical support / temporary alliance with Mars Guo, but you should be wary. You know, you should not take your eyes off of him. So what the fuck was that? That was the first episode of my new show, RainbowFruit Radio. That's right, I came up with the name myself. You know, I figured the world's falling apart, you know, World War III is on the brink of starting, AI is taking over, you know, everything's getting worse, everything's falling apart, but the indomitable human spirit does not slow down because shit's going down in the world. You know what I mean? The lion does not stop for the red light. He continues on his path. And as such, the spirit of creativity, too, must go on. So, thanks for watching. I probably should have put this at the start of the episode instead of the ending. But today's episode was Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I'd also like to apologize for my gameplay in this episode. I haven't played the game in a while, and I was still learning the controls. I didn't realize you could boost. So, don't bully me, please. So stay tuned for the next episode. It is definitely absolutely coming out, and I'm not just going to do the one episode and then give up. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you next time.